Some viewers may find the following content disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. So we've got an interesting video today. My favourite YouTuber, Tuv, posted a video. Well, to me right now it was yesterday, but when this video was uploaded, fuck knows when. He uploaded a video and it was serial killers aged 1 to 100. Incredible video, so well detailed, so well researched. So I wanted to steal that idea and put a bit of a twist on it. So I decided to research true crime cases from 2013 to 2024. This took a lot of research. Some of the years, the cases on them are shorter than others, just based off of information that I can find. The one for this year, 2024, is a bit shorter, just because there's not a lot of information out there yet. Same for the 2023 case. Now, I did put a viewer discretion warning at the start of this video. I would just like to say as well, for all of this, it is just for information only. I'm not glorifying anything, and you know, thoughts and prayers are with the victims, because some of the details in these cases are just awful, and you just can't imagine what the families are going through. But yeah, it's just for information only. As well, some of these cases are very well known, some of them aren't, and there's one that sort of hits close to home because it happened not far from where I am right now. Not very well known, but the details are troubling, so I just wanted to add that in. But yeah, my face might pop up a little bit later on in the video, it might not. I'm only saying that because I haven't actually started making the video yet. I always film the intro first. But yeah, for one of my favourite ideas so far, let's get into it. 2013, Elisa Lam. On the 19th of February 2013, the body of Elisa Lam was discovered in a large cistern on the roof of the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. She was reported missing by her parents on the 8th of February. Her body was discovered by a maintenance worker after receiving complaints about the water. On February 13th, LAPD released security camera footage of Elisa behaving erratically in the hotel elevator the last day that she was seen alive, and the video went viral. There are a few theories in relation to her behaviour in the video. One theory is that she was desperately trying to get away from someone who was pursuing her. Another theory is that she was suffering a psychotic episode, as she suffered from bipolar disorder. And the scariest theory is that she was playing the elevator game, which is an urban legend where the player would ride to different floors in a certain sequence. When the player gets to the 5th floor, a mysterious woman would get in. The rules are that you should not look or interact with the woman, or you would never return to the real world. You then click the button to descend from the 5th floor down to the 1st. However, if the elevator instead goes up, it takes you into another world. Her autopsy confirmed that the cause of death was accidental drowning, but there was no indication as to how she got into the cistern in the first place. 2014, Elliot Rodger. On the 23rd of May 2014, Elliot Rodger killed 6 people near the University of California. First, he killed his 2 roommates and their friend in their apartment, stabbing them one at a time as they arrived home. A few hours later, he uploaded a YouTube video detailing his reasons, as he wanted to punish women for not being interested in him. Shortly before the attack, he emailed a manifesto with the same details and more to his family members and his therapist. In his YouTube video, he then stated that his first course of action was to head to a nearby sorority house and murder the girls inside. He was unable to enter though, and instead he shot at 3 women who were walking by the house, killing 2 of them. He then drove to a local deli and shot and killed a man inside. He then drove around the area, shooting at and ramming into pedestrians. He exchanged gunfire with police and was shot in the hip. He then crashed his car, and when police approached to apprehend him, they found Elliot dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. 2015, Gypsy-Rose Blanchard. Gypsy-Rose Blanchard was sentenced to 10 years in prison for her role in the murder of her abusive mother, Dee Blanchard, on the 10th of June 2015. Dee Blanchard suffered from Munchausen by proxy, as she would tell people that Gypsy suffered from a long list of illnesses such as cancer, muscular dystrophy, visual and hearing impairments, seizure disorders, allergies and much more, when in fact she never had any of these disorders in the first place. Dee just loved the money and the attention that she got from having a sickly daughter. Gypsy then enlisted the help of her boyfriend at the time, Nick Godejohn, and they planned to kill her mother and run off together. Now, Gypsy was actually released from prison on the 28th of December 2023 and has been all over the headlines ever since, and is now on a media storm. She now has her own reality TV show entitled Gypsy-Rose Life After Lockup, which I'm currently on episode 2 of. I posted a short about her the other day actually, because the crime scene photos from this case were actually released, so you can go check out that video if you want. 2016, Timothy Johnson. On the 7th of April 2016, a woman discovered the body of another woman in a field in Florida. Several days later, the body was identified as 52-year-old Judith Therianos, who had been missing since March 14th. At the time of discovery, her body had been badly decomposed. However, according to her autopsy, she passed away from blunt force trauma. Timothy Johnson, who was in the Paco County Jail at the time for unrelated charges, confessed to other inmates that he killed Judith. He told them that they met at a store around 6 p.m. on March 13th, 2016, where they purchased alcohol and headed to a wooded area where they had relations. At some point during the relations, Judith wanted Timothy to stop, but he instead started choking her until she passed out. He then struck her on the head with an unknown object, probably a rock to be fair, and killed her. He then continued having relations with her corpse before stealing her debit card, going to go and purchase something to eat before returning and having relations with her dead body again. 2017, the Manchester Arena bombing. During an Ariana Grande concert on the 22nd of May 2017, Islamic extremist brothers Salman Abedi and Hashim Abedi set off a bomb, killing 22 people and injuring at least 1,017 people. Salman was killed in the attack, but Hashim was convicted of 22 counts of murder, attempted murder and conspiracy to cause an explosion, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 55 years. Ariana Grande suspended the rest of her tour briefly, and she actually hosted a benefit concert on the 4th of June entitled One Love Manchester, raising a total of £17 million towards the victims and families of the bombing. I actually remember this happening, and I just remember watching the videos online, and it was crazy, because I really wanted to go and see her at this time, and I'm glad that I didn't, even though I'm from nowhere near Manchester. Yeah. 2018, Julie Reilly. Now, this case took place not far from me, which is why it's on this list. So, in February of 2018, Andrew Wallace was given a life sentence for the murder of 47-year-old Julie Reilly in her flat in Govan, which is in Glasgow. He used a large knife to cut off her legs after stabbing her in the chest. He then put her remains in plastic bags and suitcases before burying them near Reilly's home. This was not his first taste of blood either. Wallace was actually found guilty of culpable homicide back in 1992 when he was just 15 years old. I didn't research that case, but I probably should have. After the murder of Julie Reilly, Andrew Wallace was seen at the homes of two of his friends with said suitcases. He told one friend that he actually hit a deer while he was out driving and he wanted to sell the meat. And he told another friend that he had been thrown out of Reilly's home because he was staying with her at the time, and the suitcases contained just dirty washing. It's not clear what the motive was, however, Wallace's defence attorney told the court that Julie had taken a knife to him during an argument and he took off her and stabbed her in the chest instead. So we are halfway through the video right now. I did say my face would pop up, sorry guys, you have to look at this beauty. So if you're enjoying the video so far, I don't know why I'm so close to the camera, please subscribe because these videos take a long fucking time. I've been sitting here typing for about 4 hours just doing the research, so God knows how long it's going to take me to edit all this shit. Because I was looking at my statistics and it was saying like 99.9% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so subscribe now or I'll shave your cat. Little bit of a fun fact, there was actually a case that came up that I was researching, and it was a serial cat shaver. I'm not even going to bother looking up the details, but it was a real crime spree, and somebody was just taking people's cats and shaving them. A little bit of a disclaimer, it was me. And I was doing it to everybody that watches and doesn't subscribe. And I'll do it again. Okay, back to the... I'm so... What? I don't know what's going on with me. I think I'm tired. It's like 11 PM right now. Yeah, back to the video. 2019, Tessa Majors. On the 11th of December 2019, Tessa Majors, who was 18 at the time, was attacked and stabbed by 3 teenagers near Morningside Park in Manhattan, New York, during a robbery. She was discovered on a staircase and was transported to a nearby hospital, however sadly passed away due to her injuries. The following day, a 13-year-old suspect was charged with felony murder. Their identity is hidden due to their age. 2 months later, 2 14-year-old suspects, Luciano Lewis and Rashwan Weaver, were also apprehended and charged with murder. According to the 13-year-old offender, during the attack, Tessa bit one of the attacker's fingers very hard, causing it to bleed. That's when the attacker stabbed her several times in the chest, with one of the wounds piercing her heart. The 13-year-old pled guilty to first-degree robbery and received an 18-month sentence. Luciano Lewis pled guilty to second-degree murder and first-degree robbery and was sentenced to 9 years to life. And Rashwan Weaver also pled guilty to second-degree murder and first-degree robbery, and he received 14 years to life. 2020, Michele Deegan. Michele Deegan was a psychologist who shot and killed her twin daughters as they slept on the 23rd of October 2020 before turning the gun on herself. Police responded to the incident at her home at around 1:15 PM in Sudden Valley, north of Seattle. Yeah, whatever, same thing. The motive for the killing is believed to be because of an ongoing custody dispute with her ex. This is a strange case, as she specialised in marriage and family therapy and was working on attaining her doctorate in psychology. Evidence at the scene also indicated that she'd been planning the event for several days before. The twins also had large amounts of sedatives in their system at the time of the shooting. 2021, Alex Murdaugh. On the 7th of June 2021, police responded to a shooting at the Murdaugh family lodge in South Carolina. Alex Murdaugh, the father, told the police that he discovered the bodies of his wife Maggie and his son Paul. Each of them had been shot multiple times in the head, wrists and chest with different guns. At the time of the shooting, Alex claimed that he was visiting his mother who had dementia. However, cell phone data and a video containing his voice placed him at the scene. For a little background on this case, Alex's son Paul had been under investigation for causing the death of his friend Mallory Beach as he crashed a powerboat into a bridge while drunk. He had also done a lot of other things to get himself in trouble, just because he knew he could get away with it because of how powerful his family is. His father ultimately decided that killing him would be more beneficial as to not tarnish the family's reputation. Alex Murdaugh was charged with 2 counts of murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime, and he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. It also came about that he was stealing large amounts of money from his own law firm. There's actually a fantastic documentary series on Netflix which I would highly recommend. I was completely hooked on it and I binged it while on a plane. 2022, Brian Koberger. If that's how you pronounce it, I don't actually know. In the early hours of the 13th of November 2022, 4 students of the University of Idaho were stabbed in an off-campus residence in Moscow, Idaho. Over a month later, on December 30th, police arrested 28-year-old Brian. He is being charged on 4 counts of first-degree murder and one count of felony burglary, and prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. 2 other female roommates also lived at the house, but were not attacked at the time. The trial date is set for the 27th of June 2025. The motive for the killings is also unknown. 2023, Lindsay Clancy. On the 24th of January 2023, Lindsay Clancy strangled her 3 children to death. Before the act, Lindsay requested that her husband Patrick leave the house to go pick up the children's medicine and food, but when he returned home he found his wife laying in the backyard after a suicide attempt. He then found his 3 young children in the basement after being strangled with exercise bands. Each of the children were taken to the hospital, where 2 were pronounced dead that evening, and 8-month-old Callan passed away 3 days later. Now, Lindsay had a history of mental health issues and she took different medications. After she was apprehended, she was held in the hospital for mental health treatment and physical injuries she received from her suicide attempt. 2024, Axel Rudakubana. This is the most recent case on the list, happening just 2 weeks ago. So on July 29th, 2024, horror unfolded at a Taylor Swift dance workshop at a community centre in Southport. 17-year-old Axel entered and began stabbing children at random. Dance teacher Leanne Lucas was knifed in the arm, neck and back as she used her body as a shield to protect the children. Jonathan Hayes was also stabbed in the leg as he tried to fend off the attacker after running into the class when hearing screams. Sadly, 3 young girls lost their lives in the attack. 6-year-old Baby King, 7-year-old Elsie Stancombe, and 9-year-old Alice Aguiar. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Axel remains in custody and is awaiting trial. Now, this case caused massive protests all over the country, and 100 people were arrested in London as flares were hurled at the gates of Downing Street, with over 50 police officers injured. Haha, I'm back one more time, again very close to the camera. Yeah, that was the video. Yeah, I shouldn't be laughing and joking about shaving cats when the details of these cases are very disturbing. Again, not to glorify anything, but yeah, thank you for watching. Again, please subscribe. I'm begging. Yeah, more better ideas coming in the near future. So thanks, guys. Cheers. Hold your cats tight tonight. Okay, bye.